Awesome. Thank you so much, Emmett. It's great to be here. If you want to throw there we go. That's me. That's me and my partner there. That's Adrian. But yeah, Rhett Taylor. I'm here in Boulder, Colorado. I just got in from hiking for the last 7 hours. I've been out with three coaching clients and I'm doing what I love. Feels really good. Emmett, if you could mute convene AV, that would be great. But going on, and next slide. Yeah, so Ned is the company I founded in 2017 with my co-founder Adrian Zimmerman. Um, we the mission came through my mother's battle with breast cancer and her very bold but very scary decision to battle her cancer through nutrition and not through chemo or radiation. It sent me on a big quest to go and learn all I could about natural remedies and natural alternatives to pharmaceuticals. Uh, it became a passion of mine, and I was looking to sell my previous business, which was not a passion. It was a widget to me. It was hotel furniture, fixtures, and equipment, very lucrative, but no passion there. So sold that business and started Ned in 2017. Our mission at Ned was to help people feel better and live better through the powers of the natural world. And for us, that meant creating all types of different natural remedies, things for sleep and stress, anxiety, joint and muscle pain, inflammation. And we were really there on the cutting edge at a great time in the wellness space. 2018 and moving on into COVID, we really struck at the right time. So it felt great. Our products won a lot of awards and did quite well. We were on a rocket ship for the first several years. Next slide, please. Yeah, so we launched in March of 2018, and we spent the next 6 months, the next 2 quarters, kind of reiterating and getting our ducks in a row, and we had our hard launch in September of 2018. Um, yeah, in we sold last year in November, exactly 2 years, or sorry, 7 years to the date of the founding date, and we did over $22 million in revenue in that time. 73% of that was recurring revenue. We had a very robust membership program. It was called the North Star membership, still is, and 73% of our revenue came through it. We had a very healthy DTC presence with a 3.2 LTV to CAC ratio. Our margins were very healthy at 85%. Our AOV was over $70, oftentimes over 90, in fact. But and then yeah, 90% of our business was direct to consumer. We also worked with a number of small yoga studios and functional medicine clinics. Toward the end, a couple of years ago, Erewhon approached us, and we've been in Erewhon for the last 2 years now. And we were moving into other areas in retail. Next slide, please. So the exit process, when my partner Adrian and I formed the company, we said we want to sell within 5 to 7 years. We understand that there is such a thing as the 7-year itch, and for the two of us, it's a real thing. So it was always the intention to sell. Like I said, we sold 7 years to the day, and it was something that came up for me very organically. I thought Ned was my purpose and deepest passion. It really checked all the boxes. I'm very, very passionate about helping people feel better and live better. I'm passionate about nature. I'm passionate about helping small farms and great vendors. And I'm also passionate about creating natural alternatives to pharmaceuticals. So it really felt like it landed right in that middle of the Venn diagram of the Ikigai diagram, if you're familiar with that. There was something crucially missing though for me, which was as many people as we helped find a deeper connection to nature, and it was hundreds of thousands. We, I spent the last 7 years of my life disconnected from nature, deep inside an office, and focused on spreadsheets and the like. I'm good at that. I'm not great at it though. I'm best at being outdoors with people. I realized that back in April, and it was a profound realization. I was climbing Denali, and I had just led multiple retreats for some YPO groups. Um, I started getting some coaching clients, just pro bono, helping other founders out, and that felt really right. I got back from Denali and realized that business is supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be hard. I always thought it was supposed to be hard, but it's not. And I went to my business partner and I told him I'm ready to sell. He felt the same way for the reason that he has a young son he wants to spend more time with. And so we decided we would sell the business. At this exact same time, though, we hit a big hurdle, a big financial monkey wrench. We had, for many years, we had a line of credit with a business that was clockwork. It was always very healthy debt ratio. But at one point, we requested funds and they weren't coming, and it went from clockwork to not. I finally got them on the phone, and they said, "We can't lend to you. We're going under." So this was a few hours before payroll was due, and all of a sudden, our line of credit is gone. It was a tough moment. We had to make some serious changes, including letting go of some great people. Eventually, though, long story short, turned out to be a really, really good thing. We got down to our best people, our A players, and we ended up turning everything around and getting back to profitability. We created new products, and we really had a much healthier business. So it went from honestly the scariest time of my entrepreneurial 20-year career to one of the best things that happened for me. And I was thinking it was happening to me, but it turned out it was happening for me, which was great. It took some work to get there, though, and lots of money with coaches. But we turned the business around. And meanwhile, we had been working with a few different suitors interested in purchasing the business. It started off all in the private equity space. We always dreamed of selling to a strategic, but really didn't feel like our numbers were there. We had some conversations that were pretty scary, honestly. It felt very, very sharky and unaligned. I'll elaborate further on that later. But eventually, I realized that the perfect acquirer was right here in our backyard here in Boulder. And I had met that person at a networking event at the beginning of the summer. He said, "Hey, you own the sleep category. Well, we own the sex category. And why don't we own the bedroom together?" And later on, I recalled that conversation. I called him up and he said, I said, "John, the business is for sale. Why don't you own the whole thing?" He said, that's crazy, Rhett. We just this week engaged a business to help us find a company to acquire. And it took us about 3.5 months, but we got there. And we closed the deal on November 10th. Again, 7 years to the day from the day we founded the business. Next slide, please. Yeah, so the deal. John Brandon owns an amazing company named Foria. Like I said, Foria, they own the sex category. They are wellness for sex. Very high end, very intentional, beautiful ingredients, lubes and massage oils and the like. Foria was founded 10 years ago, and it's looking to grow. It did so significantly through purchasing Ned. The valuation was around $2 million. This was not something I would have considered years ago or even months ago, but it really did feel like it was time to get out. Charlie, you alluded to that, and I'm very glad that we did. It was a beautiful process. We went through a lot with John and his team and the group that he had engaged to help find a business to acquire. Eventually, we got down to terms, and it was an 18-month payout for my partner and I. Neither of us wanted to stick around, and John was just fine with that. For us, Adrian and I, it was all about going and doing the next thing, and it very much is. I spent all morning in the mountains doing exactly that. Feels really good. We did promise to be available for 6 months, which we have been. And one of the things I'm most proud of is that all of our best people, which is what we were down to in the very end before we sold, they were retained by Foria and got raises and bonuses, and they also did well in our profit sharing pool. So today I'm a coach and a facilitator. I'm helping other founders get to where I am right now, and it feels really good. That financial monkey wrench that I mentioned earlier, it's happening to more and more founders, and it's really hard. Like I said, it's been the hardest part of a 20-year entrepreneurial career. I realized though it happened for me, not to me, and that made a massive difference. So right now I'm really proud to be helping other founders through the exact same thing, and unfortunately there are many. So I finally landed right there at the center of the Ikigai, and I feel very grateful for it. I feel grateful for all the experiences I've had along the way, and Ned was a big part of that. I'm really glad too that we were able to exit and go through that process. I learned a ton that's going to be very valuable for me going forward. Emmett was always there, always an ally and open for discussions. Emmett and I connected probably 4 years ago, and I'm very grateful to him and Fortia. So thanks for having me.